Welcome to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where we discover the communities that are making a difference in the lives of others. Our self-discovery is something we are all making on our life's journey. Here you will find the people that will be your guidance, that will be your inspiration, that will be there for you in support on your journey of life. Do enjoy. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy. Perspectives, understanding, allowing. We like to judge something by our reaction to it. It's either wrong or right because of our reaction to it. But what if we looked deeper? What if we heard more? What if the layers were pulled back and we could actually see what the truth really is? Would we still think the same? Would we still feel the same? I have recently been in a group of people I love with someone I used to love. And the conversation went deep. And the conversation peeled back some layers. And the conversation also led to an understanding of why this person reacts the way they do. You see, when we see somebody with anger, bitterness, even nastiness, very often it's a defense, or it's all they know. When we actually peel back those layers and understand what happened to them, how they were conditioned when young, the reactions they got from other people, we understand why they do what they do. That doesn't mean you condone it. It just means you know where it's coming from. You understand better the reason why the person does react the way they do. The pain they inflict upon you, if that is what they do, is real and not diminished by that understanding. But when you know where it's coming from and the deep pain that that person is in, that they've never dealt with, they've never faced, and they don't know how to cope with, then you understand why they are the way they are. You know, life is a journey. Life is an experience. It's a multiple of multiple experiences. And we can look back to times in our life where we think, oh, I wish I hadn't reacted that way. I wish I hadn't said that. I wish I hadn't felt that. I wish I'd listened more. And we get reactionary because it immediately ignites either our defense or our own pain within inside of us. But what if we did listen? What if we really truly understood why people do the things they do? What if in speaking, in allowing us to really go there, or allowing them to really go there, in trust, no shame, no blame, and go deep, then maybe we would understand better, not only them, but ourselves, but also maybe they would understand themselves better. They reveal deep, dark secrets. They've opened up to deep, dark feelings, things they had diminished, dismissed, hidden away, didn't really even have an idea that it had such an effect on them. But when it's revealed and they can truly see it, and they understand that maybe that's where that anger or that pain comes from, maybe now they can take charge of it. Until we're willing to release, see something, own it, see it for what it is, forgive self, forgive others, and let it go. It doesn't mean you forget. It just means you're no longer controlled by it. When that person is liberated into doing that, then they're going to make different choices about how they react with themselves and other people. When we're in pain or confused or being conditioned a certain way, that's the only thing we're going to do, right? We're going to react in that way. We can't help it. It's just our reactionary selves. I realize that a great deal of my reaction in life has been through defense. The feeling that I was always being under attack, the feeling that I was of no value, the feeling that no one loved me. And in that, it would always feel like an attack and I would go on defense. But instead, if I'd listened to the way people were speaking to me, now, of course, if it's nasty, derogatory, demeaning, forget it. No, that's not going to open any doors of communication at all. But when it comes into a point where you can actually really open up and maybe listen to what other people are saying to you in a non-defensive way, then you can actually hear them and go, okay, yeah, I do that. I do react that way. Why do I react that way? Where is it coming from? What is igniting that reaction? We need to own it. Again, this is not about persecution of one another. It's about understanding. We make decisions and we do things based in fear or insecurity, in a lack of worth. And when we can face that head on and we can see it for what it is, we can then take ownership and charge of ourselves. That doesn't mean we're not going to react to other things or not going to feel pain from other things, but it does mean that we're going to have more understanding of why we're reacting that way, or not to take it seriously what other people are saying or doing, to stand in our own strength, stand in our own core. If we can honestly look at ourselves, eyeball to eyeball, and we can actually say to ourselves, I forgive you, you are worthy, I love you, I stand by you, and we truly believe it, then we are going to change that tide. We know what the dialogue has been, or maybe we haven't and we've just suddenly realized it. And we know that that dialogue is negative towards our psyche, and then therefore we are going to be reactionary to other people. We know that is not going to be a good outcome for anybody. So when we take this and we decide to let go, to see ourselves differently, to feed different waters, to see different possibilities, then we're actually allowing ourselves to be free of what has held us down for so long, to be free of that pain and that anguish or that bitterness. And we then look at life in a different way. Now, as I said, I went for this experience this last weekend. And it was good to hear this person speak openly and honestly, because it became a revelation for the people in the room of why, in many ways, they reacted the way they did to life and to them. But it was also a breakthrough in understanding that other people need to hear kindness or love from you verbally. Just because it wasn't given to you doesn't mean you can't say it to other people. I remember my mother saying to me, you brought your children up the way you wanted to be brought up. Kissy, cuddly, lovable, interactive, participatory. Joe said, most certainly, have I been a perfect mother? Absolutely not. I brought my own insecurities to it, my own defenses to it, but I honestly did bring my love to it. Love of my children, love of everything about them. It didn't mean I liked some of their choices, but it never interfered with how I loved them. I've been on my own self-discovery. I've let down those defenses. I've been more open and honest with who I am. Have I still got some healing to go? Absolutely. I have been pushed by my children and other people to write my book. And recently, that book has completely changed format as to how it's going to be. And it might be a little painful to write. It might be a little hard for things that I've suppressed to come up. But at the same time, it's not only cathartic, but for all those that choose to read it, they can see that even out of pain can come beauty. Even out of anguish can come hope. Even out of abstaining from life, a seed can grow. It's all a question of what we choose to feed. I chose to feed what I can do. I chose to feed where my aptitudes were, where my strengths were. I chose to feed my courage, my inquisitiveness, the possibilities of what I can do. And I allowed myself to congratulate myself when I could achieve that. Could I do better? Always. That's what life's about. I did that well, but I know I can do better. It's not about beating yourself up or selling yourself short. You just know there's more in you to give, more in you to discover, more in you that is a contributor, that you haven't been given that opportunity to be that because you were living under an illusion that you were so much less. Now, I'm very glad this person went through this. It was an eye-opener for them and everyone around them. And I think a step in their own self-discovery. And I do hope that they continue in that self-discovery. Ultimately, no matter what's being given to us or done to us, it is our choice on how we live our lives. It is our choice how we choose to heal. It is our choice of what we take ownership of. And we can only do that if we're willing to go in and unravel and face some of those demons, own some of those mistakes, and be willing to go in a different direction. I have forgiven this person. That doesn't mean the pain that was inflicted is still not there. And I don't mean in the pain that I'm carrying the sword in my stomach all the time. I just mean that the damage was done. But now it was up to me of how I take this damaged spirit and how I heal it. No longer can I blame them because I'm no longer with them. But if I want a better life, if I want to be treated better, if I want to have more substance in my life, more meaningful purpose, that is up to me. It's up to each and every one of us. If each and every one of us decided to heal, decided to do the work, to go through the process, to look the pain and everything in face to face and say, thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the lesson, but you no longer have a hold over me. Thank you for the wisdom, for I have learned what I don't want or not how to do something, and I will explore how to do it better. But we have to take ownership. We have to do the work. We have to go through the process because that's how we step into our meaningful purpose. And imagine if every single one of us did that. Every single one of us was willing to face our own pain, our own fears, our own anguish, and forgive, not only of yourself, but of them. 2, let go, which what you're letting go of is the fear, the pain, the anguish, and to decide to step into your beautiful abundance and allow it to show you how awesome you really are in your flawsomeness. Imagine what a beautiful world we would live in, because that means everybody would have stepped up into their own healing process, and in doing that, raising that vibration, that loving vibration, and in harmony, bringing that loving vibration together. Fundamentally, folks, that is the way we will heal our planet. That is the way we will heal our souls. It is the way we will heal the spirits. It is the way we will heal our minds. Our hearts must be engaged. It must face those pains. It must let go. And it must be willing to move forward. Because when we do that, we are truly and utterly healing ourselves and the planet. So don't hold on to anything, folks. Face it, go through the process, and become the awesome person you're meant to be. Until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. You will hear many, many shows here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. We have new shows for you out every week. Just find them on our podcast or What's New. If you feel that you have something to share that makes a difference in the lives of others, or you too feel that you could be a host, please contact me at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com and we will be glad to speak with you. Have a wonderful day.